Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Daphne, and today we're talking about my 19th week of pregnancy.
Daddy told me, son, don't you get involved in
So starting off with my stats and symptoms this week. So I want to start by saying that I was extremely sick this week, and if I seem tired or like sick or anything, that's why. And I'll talk kind of more about my experience this week later on. But so last week I was 148 pounds, and then this morning I got on the scale and I was 146 pounds. So I don't know, I was proud of having gained some weight, and now I'm kind of back, not fully to square one, but so at 19 weeks and 6 days, my total gain is 2 pounds for the pregnancy. So halfway through, I've gained 2 pounds. Now, I think that probably in the next week or so, I'll gain 2 to 3 pounds probably in the week, because I'm guessing that just my fluids are really low and everything. And so I am hoping and praying that my weight goes up, quite a bit, especially before I see my doctor again, because she's not going to be super thrilled with that. So yeah, anyway, so what had happened this week is that, so on Thursday, Chloe started feeling a little sick. This was like Thursday night, and she kept grabbing, Chloe's my 2-year-old, by the way, and she kept grabbing at her tongue. So eventually my husband and I wrangled her, and we got her to stick out her tongue, and we took a picture, and I'll insert the picture here. She just had like these little white spots all over her tongue, and we weren't sure what it was, so we sent it to her pediatrician, and her pediatrician said it was hand, foot, and mouth. And that really freaked us out, because when my daughter Nina was probably like 9 months old or 10 months old, she got hand, foot, and mouth, and it was really, really bad. Like really, really bad and scary. So I'll put the pictures here of when Nina had hand, foot, and mouth, and she had scars for like years, and they're just now starting to fade. But anyway, it was horrible. It was horrific. And so we were gearing up to have like a really bad time with Chloe, and she just had a fever for a couple of days, and then she got some spots on her feet, and I'll put the picture here of like the worst that her spots got, and then she got better, and she was able to, perk up and do just fine. And so she was fine. And then over the weekend, I got a fever, and it was between 101 and 103 all weekend. And I just laid in bed and did nothing. And my grandparents were actually in town, and I never get to see them, so I was super bummed. And they basically stayed with us but had to take care of themselves. I felt so bad. And I laid in bed. And so it started with a fever. And then after I had a fever, I developed body aches. And it wasn't just regular body aches. It was extreme body aches. And it got to the point where I was scared because it was so bad. So I ended up calling the triage nurse at the hospital, because my back and my pelvis and my stomach were cramping so bad, that I was like, do I go to the ER? What am I supposed to do? And anyway, they said, do not come in to the hospital, do not come into triage, because hand, foot, and mouth is so, I can't even think. I'm so tired, you guys. Hand, foot, and mouth is so contagious that we don't want you to come in. And the only reason to come in is if you can't hydrate yourself and you're like passing out from dehydration. So anyway, I ended up getting pretty dehydrated. My blood pressure got low. I almost passed out. It was like 80 over 60 or something like that, which is a little low. It's not super low. And I could barely walk because my cramps were so bad. It was leg cramps and arm cramps and belly, just everything. Everything hurt. Like my armpits hurt really bad. Everything. And it's the sickest I think I've ever been. And I just ended up like laying in bed crying and taking Tylenol. You can only take Tylenol when you're pregnant. You can't take ibuprofen. You can't take anything else. So I took Tylenol, and I would get in the bath and like lay in the bath and cry. And then I would get in bed and lay in bed and cry. And you know, luckily I had my husband to take care of my kids. I don't know what single parents do when they get really sick like that. I guess I don't know what they do. So yeah, so that was my week, and I lost a bunch of weight, and I couldn't eat, and it was just really bad. And so when I called the nurse, she said basically like, that's a really high fever. 103 is really high. And you know, the main concern is getting that fever down so that baby doesn't boil in there. And she said that the reason why I was in so much pain is because I'm pregnant. So my body was fighting, you know, tooth and nail against this virus in order to fight it off and to protect Lily. So anyway, you know, moral of the story, I'm feeling better now. I am able to work a little bit today, and I'm sure I'll be fine the rest of the week, but it was just like the roughest weekend I've ever had. And yeah, so then the other thing about this week is that, well, there's a lot of other things. Let's talk about the positive thing this week, which was that we got to have our anatomy scan, and that was on Friday. And I wasn't sick yet. I got sick like that night. And if I had known that I had hand, foot, and mouth at that point, I would not have gone to this appointment. Obviously we had to wear masks and everything, so I think it's okay. But boy, I wish I had known, because I would have canceled that appointment. But anyway, so we got to see Lily, and she's doing really, really good. And I was, so on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I was like 19 weeks and 4 days at my anatomy scan appointment. And they said that she's growing great and she looks perfect. She's got all of her like parts. Her heart is really good. Her spine is good. You know, she's got all the brain structures that they're looking for. Like the neck fold and everything was good. Like everything is good. And they said she's 10 ounces, which they said is 100% perfect. So even though I'm not gaining weight like I should be, she is. So she's doing really good. And I'll show you some pictures. I'm so obsessed. They're so cute. Okay, so here is, which one's the best one? Probably this one. Here is the best one of her. Actually, here's another one. That's her little profile. And let's see, here's one of her. She has her hand up like this, like towards her face. So you can see that. Oh. And let's see, what else do we have? It was just really cool because, you know, you get to sit there and like watch her move and kick and everything. Okay, here is, you can see her little butt, and then her legs are like coming down this way, and there's foot. So 2 little feet. And let's see, I wish they had given us like the picture of her lips and her mouth, but I know they took a picture of that, and it was super cute to see her little lips. I was like, oh my God. She doesn't have a cleft lip or a cleft palate. And then of course, it's a girl. So Pete was still holding out hope that both our nipped and our sneak peek had been wrong. But no, we got to see her little lady parts. And yeah, you guys, she's just so cute. I just feel like after the anatomy scan, like you just feel so much more connected to your baby, because you get to see what they look like, and you get to, I don't know, you just get to see that they're like this huge baby, like this whole entire person. I don't know. I'm always amazed by the anatomy scan, and I have all of the pictures from all of my kids from their anatomy scans, and I don't know, it's just, for me, it's like one of the best parts in pregnancy, the first best thing being feeling the baby move. So on that topic, she has been moving a lot, like a lot. And there was a huge, like massive uptick in me feeling her. And I did ask at my anatomy scan, like where my placenta is, and it's located at the bottom back of my uterus. It's not near the cervix, so it's kind of like behind. And so like all of the front is available and open, and I can feel her kicking all the time. So the primary places where I'm feeling her, and yes, my belly is huge. The primary places where I'm feeling her kick are up here, and then down here. So I feel like she like goes on an axis, either this way or this way, and she's either kicking up or up here, or down. And then sometimes she's kicking like at my belly button. And I filmed myself and I can see, and I don't like showing off my bare belly because it's like a roadmap of stretch marks from my previous pregnancies. But I filmed my belly a few times and you can literally watch my belly like ripple and stuff. And I can't believe that I'm only 19 weeks and you can already see my belly like going crazy. And Pete has seen it and felt it like crazy. And yeah, so that was like one of the only good things about this week when I was sick is I was like sitting there in the bathtub crying, like holding my belly, but then I would see my belly like wiggle and see her kick and stuff. And I would just like coo and talk to her and be like, hey dude, like we're gonna get through this and like everything's gonna be fine. And you know, she would respond by like kicking. She's so cute. And so like this is the first week where I've been like laying in bed or whatever, and I feel like I'm not just laying there by myself. Like I feel like I'm cuddling with my baby. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. And that's one of the things that I'm dead set on for this pregnancy is really enjoying like having the baby to myself and having my belly to myself. And I don't have to give her to anyone. Like nobody wants to hold her. It's just me. And you know, she's not particularly hard. She's obviously not heavy. I don't have to stop what I'm doing, but I do get to cuddle with her all the time. Like how fun is that? And you know, we just have these little conversations where she'll kick and I'll like poke the same spot on my belly and she'll kick again. Oh, it's so fun. She's so cute and I'm obsessed. I'm still obsessed. I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed. So let's talk a little bit about her and her size. So like I said, she is 10 ounces. So the like average range for 19 weeks is like 8 to 10 ounces. And then for 20 weeks, it's like 10 to 11 and a half or 12 ounces or something like that. So she's like dead in the middle of that. And so that's perfect. She's like average, awesome, growing well. Well, they didn't tell me her exact length, but they said that average for this age is 6 inches from head to butt and 10 inches total. So she's getting really long, and that's no surprise why, you know, I can feel, you know, on completely opposite sides of my belly, I can feel kicks and movement at the same time. Like her feet are kicking out one way and her hands are out the other way. And I don't know, I obviously she has a lot of room in there to move because she hasn't, you know, bulked up a ton, but it feels like she's really long. She's like half of what she's gonna be at birth. So she's already really long. She just has to like fill out. So if she's already 10 inches and she could be like 18-ish at birth, yeah, she's more than halfway of her length. And so anyway, all of my pregnancy apps and stuff say that at this point, like most of her energy is not going to like developing new parts or anything because all of her parts are pretty much there. It's just going to getting bigger and putting on weight. So I can tell that that's starting to happen because my belly is getting bigger, and not just a little bigger. Like I'm starting to get bruises on my belly from like knocking it into stuff and everything. And like not like where she is, but like I have a couple of bruises on my hip bones because I keep trying to like scoot by things that I don't fit by anymore because I'm just like getting really big really fast. And so yeah, and then like when I wake up in the morning, I just instinctively run my hands over my belly, and it's like just this hard rock. It's like this massive like hard lump thing. And I don't know, it's weird because my last pregnancies I was a lot heavier than I am now, and like my belly got bigger, but I couldn't feel, like when I put my hands on my belly, I couldn't feel it the way that it is now. It's like this hard like lump and I can feel like her whole body. And I don't know, it's cool. It's cool just feeling, you know, exactly where she is, because I can literally feel exactly where she is. It's so cool. So yeah. She's also this week, she's developing regular sleep patterns. So I am starting to notice there will be like an hour, hour and a half where I feel nothing, like I'm 100% sure she's asleep. And then there will be other times where she's having a party, like she's kicking and like flipping, and like there are times where I'm like, whoa, like that's a lot. Like she's already so strong. But there are times when she's very, very awake, and usually it's right after I've eaten. And I keep like at nighttime, there's a few different meds that I need to take, and I take my prenatal vitamins and everything. And so I have to eat, you know, before I take that stuff. So I'll have like a little snack and then I'll lay down, and every time I eat, she wakes up and has a party. So I'll like take all of my meds and lay down to go to sleep, and then boom, she's awake and she's like, brr, 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 brr. And I'm like, come on, man, I'm trying to sleep, but also you're so cute. So I don't know, it's just really fun noticing her sleep and awake patterns, and yeah, it's cool. That is all I have to share with you for this week. Oh my gosh. Thank you for watching. If you liked my video for some reason, you can go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and you can subscribe so that you can follow my pregnancy journey and see our birth vlog and see Lily come in just 20 weeks from now. She should be coming. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week for my 20-week update. Halfway there. See you next time.
Paint a picture, let me set the scene.